Welcome back to the Infinite Jurisdiction podcast. It's your friend Gonzalo for another episode. If you're returning viewer, thanks. Welcome back. If you're new to this channel, welcome. I record one of these episodes every week for the remainder of my law school career. This is, in essence, a law school blog. The goal of this podcast is twofold. It serves as a creative outlet, enabling me to record my time through this significant time in my life, as well as my career. And while doing that, I also hope to be able to dispense humbly some useful advice, tips, or lessons for future or current or prospective law students. I normally split the video up into 3 parts. In the first part, I talk about what I'm up to during the week. In the second part, I discuss some law school tip of the week. And in the last part, I discuss some bigger picture philosophical question that I happen to be thinking about for that week. So let's jump into it. What am I doing this week? So personally, things are going good. Emotionally, psychologically, well-being wise, I feel good. Last video I mentioned that one is reminded how stressful and intense law school is once you've taken a break and just jumping right back into the whole crucible. But I think I'm back into the swing of things and it feels good. It's good to make time for fun stuff. So this upcoming Friday, I'm going to a Dodgers game. I used to really enjoy baseball when I was in high school, but it kind of got boring, honestly. And now I just trash it at every opportunity, especially when my sister's around because she loves it. But anyways, I'm still a fan, and actually going to a game is much more enjoyable than just watching it on TV. But anyway, so that's what's going on personally. More what's going on weekly for law school. I'm mostly occupied more so with my externship than school work. I would like to know your guys' experience, but once you get into an externship that you really love and enjoy, and there's this added component of actually doing work in the real world, which kind of makes the academic side of things kind of, I don't know, I'm indifferent to it now. You still have to work hard not to neglect the law school, the academic stuff, but right now I'm just so enthralled with the extra and just learning so much and enjoying the work that I'm doing there. So that's kind of the dynamic there for law school stuff. So that's what's been going on this week. Good things all around. Moving next to law school advice. So this week I wanted to talk about kind of the flip side of the directive that we're all given in law school about just networking and making connections and having making sure you have a good reputation. I think everyone is told this and more or less makes an effort. Some people do it fairly naturally because they're very sociable and gregarious, and those, such as myself, who are a little more introverted, are a little less inclined to do so, but still make an effort nonetheless. But I think a year in, a year in, one begins to notice the flip side of the network thing, which is, I guess, the kind of unconscious, or perhaps you don't realize you're doing it, but the character you're building in the background during law school that is potentially harmful. It's it's easy to forget that most of what you're doing in your law school career is around what's going to be future attorneys. All of your classmates most likely are going to be future attorneys, and they're going to be forming, to some greater or lesser extent, your network as you become an attorney. And uh, I don't think it's emphasized just how easy it is for students to burn bridges or destroy potential uh, um, friendships or networking connections, not even explicitly doing so, but just by chatting behind people's backs or giving a scowled look on someone's face whenever someone asks a question in con law, or the way people don't interact with some people as amiably as with others. Those of us who are in law school, I think, will be open to telling you that uh, all the high school cliquey stuff hasn't escaped everyone. It's all still very much uh, infused with that. It's not rampant. Some places, I assume it is. But lawyers aren't perfect people. They're smart, they're hardworking, but we're flawed. Law students, I should say, future lawyers, but lawyers too, I guess. But yeah, law students are flawed, and you'll see this kind of stuff in law school, and I've been noticing it more now. In the 1L year, everyone's kind of feeling each other out, trying to get to know everyone in their section, and by the second year, um, even though everyone's getting away from their original section, they're still very closely tied to the people and the friends they've made in their 1L year, and then what happens when the clique forms, almost by definition, is the others are formed, and like I said, no one, some of them, some students, some of my colleagues might be doing it intentionally or unconsciously, but I think it's a short-sighted game that they're engaged in, and I'm not talking about other people doing this to me. Like I've told you guys, I'm fairly introverted, so um, I'm not part of too many cliques, and I don't think I've been in the I'm not on the radar enough to be even disliked. So, but I do see this amongst the people that I have some acquaintances with. They're very willing to talk behind people's back, talk behind the professor's back, badmouth this firm or that firm. Just know to the students out there that, of course, you're at liberty to do this, and some of those people could be right in their opinions as to why they don't like the people, but everyone is always listening and judging, and you're always on the two-way street of judging someone. And the way I like to think about it is, if someone's communicating to you some backhanded, some trash talk behind someone's back, that just lets me know that that person is also willing to engage in that type of talk with respect to me. There might be a difference there because there's a stronger acquaintance, but there's a stronger chance that will happen. So that's kind of how I look at it, and I really try to stay away from that stuff, or at least keep it to myself, with the caveat that I'm not being dishonest about what's going on and what a person or a professor is actually like. But yeah, just advice: try to keep away from bad mouthing people or being um, just mean, I guess. Because apart from your reputation and its impact on your career, socially, um, I don't think it's a good long term plan. But yeah, anyways, moving to the last component, wanted to talk about something that's ever on the mind of attorneys. Sorry about that. And that's money. This is something I think about quite a bit, because intellectually, I've always felt that people are rather quick to hide their true intentions, and um, often the mask is not lying, but is replaced with an ostensible motive that is more culturally um, acceptable. So, if you want to be a plaintiff's attorney in, say, personal injury, and and deep down you really care about making a lot of money, um, sometimes people wanting to deny, or perhaps just wanting to make others believe that they're not all about the money, will say the more culturally acceptable thing: I want justice for the plaintiff, and I'll do whatever it takes to see that this person is justly compensated. This person deserves to be made whole again, and so I'll do whatever it takes within the bounds of the law to get my clients just compensations. And so this kind of thinking happens, I think, in all areas of the legal sphere. Um, there's a book I've been reading. It's called The Elephant in the Room, and it's all about these hidden motives in our brain. The elephant in the room is the bundle of not so socially respectable intuitions, the desire for status, prestige, and resource allocations. And because we don't want to sound like we're just striving for those kind of superficial things, we'd rather say that we're very altruistic, or we want to help people, or whatever the case might be. And in law school, there is this kind of tacit understanding that everyone there wants to make a lot of money, but no one wants to explicitly go out and say it, because no one wants to seem like they're just rapacious lawyers that only care about the money. And there's something to be said about the attorneys who really just only care about the money. But the point I wanted to make here, that I've been thinking about, I'd be interested in hearing what you guys think, is that I think it shouldn't be so taboo to talk about how money is one of their motivating reasons for working this hard, or wanting to be an attorney, or pursuing this or that career, or pursuing this or that area of law at a smaller or big firm. There, one of the reasons I think this taboo should go away is because dishonesty at some level is just detrimental to the person and society. But at a more practical level, I think there are good arguments to make that someone can be very conscious about wanting a job where it has a healthy income because they need the money, either because they need to support their family or they need desperately to pay for their school student loan debts from law school and undergrad, or perhaps they're in desperate need to help their families, or some people could even be motivated to make a lot of money because they want to be in a position to donate more money. I've heard Peter Singer, the philosopher, mention that one of his students decided to choose a job in or on Wall Street specifically because he wanted to do a job where more money meant he could donate more. And so he was chasing the money, but the chase was to give the money back to effective charities. One could take this to like I get how would you say a perspective from a disadvantaged minority, like recent immigrants, first generation American, first generation law student who wants to make a lot of money, and that's important to him, not because he wants to live comfortably, but because he wants to be able to pay off his student loans, his parents. He wants to be able to help them and support them, and perhaps he feels, I know people like this who feel a tremendous amount of guilt because they feel that they have to give back a lot to their parents and their grandparents for the sacrifices that they had to make so that they could have a better life. So that could be just a specific example where it shouldn't be shunned. That student shouldn't be shunned for having an interest in chasing this or that opportunity over another, because one of the factors is that one promises a better income. I think this is just a mature way of thinking about money and your career as an attorney. So I like to see that get into the dialogue. But that was winded. I'm sorry. Just a lot of opinions on that. I've been thinking about that for a bit, and I talked a lot in the second part too about the reputation, but I also think that's important. And I've also been drinking water for like 2 minutes of this episode. But that covers what I wanted to say. I'll see you guys next week. Before I go, please leave a comment below in the video if you want to describe your weekly experience in law school, or wanted a comment on something I said. If you disagree or agree with something I'm saying but you wanted to add something, just let me know in the comments. I'm open to anything. But yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Bye bye.